Number one, always use the buddy system. You have someone there watching your back. It's a huge help, especially if you have a good buddy. You know that you have a good buddy when you have one, and that's 100% for sure. Number two, right? Notify your family of your dive plan. Notify your family that, hey, I plan to be back by 5 o'clock. And if I'm not, we're going to dive here. We're looking for this fish or whatever it is. We're going to take the boat. We're going to be in this location. That way that they have an idea, and it's something that they can tell the people to come look for you, how long you've been missing for, and where the general area is to look for you, okay? Number two rule is know the signs and symptoms of a shallow water blackout and know how to deal with a shallow water blackout, right? That's fairly obvious. We get more into that as well in the future. So number fourth, check the conditions. Know what the tide is doing, right? Know what could potentially be changing your entry and exit points from where you're diving, depending on what the conditions of the ocean are. So it's really, really important for you to understand that, because there are places here that if you jump off at low tide, you will not be able to get back at the same spot at high tide, or vice versa. So it's very important for you guys to understand that. Have an entry and exit plan, and have a backup plan. And I get into that too. But the other rule, number 5, is basically when you're fighting a fish, is make sure when you're fighting a fish, you're in the water and you've shot one, that you're going up current and not just sitting in one spot, pulling up line around you. Excuse me. Because when you're doing that, you're increasing the likelihood of an entanglement, right? So if you're kicking, even if it's just slow, just forward in one direction, pulling up line, the line will pan out behind you. You'll have a much higher chance of not being snagged than if you're sitting there piling it up around you and it runs, you're probably, you could get tagged pretty easy. So that's a big thing for me, is just swimming in one direction, pulling up the line as you swim. Don't necessarily bring the line to you. You go up and bring the line to the surface. My sixth rule is plan your dive with your dive buddy accordingly, okay? So have your emergency procedures already in place. So know, hey, this is my dive buddy. He dives for a minute and a half. So that's pretty normal. So when he goes down, he disappears, I can't see him. I should know he should be up around this time, whatever it is. If I don't see him, one emergency procedures of a lost guy, what am I going to do? 15 minutes, I'm going to look for you. If I don't see you, I'm going to get out of the water and we're going to meet back at this rock or back at the car or whatever it is. And then we can go back out. But you got to have plans. What if I can't find you? Can I even get in your car? And if I get in your car, do I even have a phone number to anybody other than you that I can contact to tell you you're missing, right? So all those things, right? So the last thing I'm going to say is rule number 7 is being properly weighted, right? So being properly weighted is so huge because it affects everything. Everything. Chances of shallow water blackout, chances of just even landing a fish, not drowning, whatever it is, being properly weighted, being exhausted. So I always say my rule for being properly weighted is this: have enough weight on there to basically sink your wetsuit, right? And then a little bit extra, possibly, depending on how you are as a person. But one thing is, you should be able to sit on the surface, breathing comfortably, and not worry about having to kick to constantly stay up, right? You should be able to exhale slightly and still float just about the eyes, right? If you blow out all the way, you'll sink. Why that's important is because if you black out, there's usually a few little bubbles, a little exhale, but you'll still float up, okay? You don't want to be underweighted, because then you're going to spend all your energy trying to dive down, and you're not going to you have to hold onto a rock, you're going to want to float up, and it's just going to be a nightmare. And then you're also expending more energy and oxygen diving down. So the biggest thing is to be more comfortable is, make sure you're properly weighted. And in order to do that, don't have it be the first time with that wetsuit or a brand new suit. Just either plan on spending a little bit of time aside to get used to it and get properly weighted before you jump right in, or go ahead of time and get suited up and try it out then, okay? But so follow those 7 rules, and it'll make diving much more safer. for you. It'll be much more safe. You should have some good success with that. And I hope that actually helps you guys. Be safe.